We've been talking a lot about how the NSA is snooping in on everything we've been doing in Facebook, AOL, if AOL is even a thing anymore, your Messenger, Skype, everywhere. They've got their sticky fingers in everything. But the tech giants out there, Microsoft, Facebook, Twitter, Google, and Apple, and Yahoo are all starting to get together, and they're becoming frenemies. They're kind of, they compete in the marketplace. But on this one issue, because they know that if the NSA is fucking around and getting their customers' information without their permission, they're going to go, hey, we're going to step back from all this technology, this very expensive pocket lining technology that's, putting money in our pockets. People are going to stop stepping away from and using this stuff. So they're getting together and they're fighting back. According to the page here, it says the security of users' data is critical, which is why we've invested so much in encryption and fight for transparency around government requests for information. Page said in a Monday statement, this is undermined by the apparent wholesale collection of data in secret without the independent oversight by many governments around the world. It's time for reform, and we urge the U.S. government to lead the way. Zuckerberg also added in some comments on there. He said the U.S. government should take this opportunity to lead reform effort and make things right. And I on this point, I agree with him. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's about time somebody started this conversation. It's easy to be cynical and say, well, this is what the government does, ain't nothing going to change it. But reform is how the government changes, and sadly, they tend to listen to the money before the public outrage. Mm-hmm. And who has more money than the tech industry?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's some of the richest cats in town. The only people with more money than them is the oil people.
Oh yeah. So they're not talking at all. They just throw oil at you and then they run away because you slip right between your fingers.
No exploded pipeline here. That neighborhood always had oil in it.
The neighborhood always had oil in it. We were mining the neighborhood. Yes. They used the Jedi mind oil trick on them.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'll believe this when I see it. I think it's good that they're banding together and standing up. It does need more oversight, and hopefully this will result in something more than just another checkbox at the privacy agreement that says, oh, by the way, none of this applies to the NSA.
Absolutely. Connie, your thoughts?
I really have to wonder how much this is infringing on Fourth Amendment rights. The rights of people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation. To me, what they're doing is, this is just a dragnet, is what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And when 9/11 happened, and everybody is talking about security, we have to, that's, to me, I was like, oh, this is the worst thing ever, because people are, they're going, this is going to be an excuse. And
anything the government can come up, anything the government can use as an excuse, it's a wedge. They don't even need much of an excuse, just enough to get their foot in the door, their very big clown foot in the door, and just to wedge it open, and then they start peeking around the corner like they're watching you change. Which is scary enough. Did you have anything else on that?
Oh no, I'll pass on to to Lee.
Okay, Lee, your thoughts.
Okay, as I was reading this, I thought, oh shit, because while I agree with you guys, definitely agree. I have to state that right away. I agree, it's completely against our rights and all that. I actually just wanted to play devil's advocate here, if that's okay.
Oh, absolutely.
I served in the Marine Corps, and while I was there, I worked for intelligence for a while. And
those two words are mutually exclusive, don't you? No, I'm just kidding.
The stuff that the NSA is able to gather is very, very important stuff, and I can't even get into it because that would be an act of treason to share that stuff, because it's just due to my security clearance. So while I agree, it's also it's not really a black and white issue, because there's been a lot of stuff that we've been able to prevent by tapping wires, by getting people watching what you send in your email and that kind of thing. There's been a lot of could have been very cataclysmic things that we were able to prevent. Absolutely. And like I said, I can't get into it, which sucks, because, it's just take your word for it kind of thing.
Yeah, well, there's no one listening. There's just the three of us here. You can tell us. Who are we gonna tell?
No, you know
Come
what?
on, Lee, it's just
people
us
would
here.
tell me. People would tell me that too. They would say stuff like, "Oh, well, I won't tell anybody," and I would have to tell them it doesn't matter if you would tell anybody. The fact that there is a phone, even if you turn it off and take out the battery, they will still hear my conversation, and I can get in a lot of trouble.
Oh, really?
And they said, "What? That's not true." Oh, yeah. And this is stuff that I was telling people back in like 2007, and they said, "No, that's not true." And I said, "Yes, it is true." And then what? 2012 or 2000? Was it this year? People started freaking out about the NSA.
Yeah.
I said, "What the fuck? But this has been going on for ages."
Well,
This is
it
not-
has. Yeah,
It's not new.
there was Lamplight and Magic Genie or whatever it was, and Carnivore. I've been following this stuff for years myself. I've
Well,
been.
how
I've
much
known about
abuse
this.
is there, though? That's what I
Yeah.
guess I'm be more concerned about. Are there rampant abuse, or is there a lot of mistakes made where innocent people are hurt in this? That would be my main question.
Yeah.
Sure, and I will say I never worked for the NSA, so I can't speak on that behalf. But you have to remember they are trying to go through every single bit of everybody's conversation.
Oh yeah.
There is just simply no time to fuck with people. At least that's as far as I can tell. I remember I used to live near Portland, Oregon, and there was a guy that had been taken without any kind of. It was due to the Patriot Act. I guess he looked Muslim or something, because apparently you can look like a religion. And he was taken. He lost his practice because his practice was unmanned for 30 days. And it was this big problem, and he couldn't sue anybody. That is completely wrong. I think that wiretapping, when combined with the Patriot Act, will shit all over your rights.
Oh, absolutely.
But just the fact that somebody's reading your email, if there's nothing they can do about it without actual legal recourse, without taking you to trial, without trying to arrest you under a valid reason, then there's nothing they can do with that information.
Right. Yeah. We've said we actually talked about this a few weeks ago, where people would go out and they would actually say things on Skype and whatnot, and whoever was listening on at the NSA, they'd say like bomb, blow up, this, that, and just to fuck with them. And we've done that here on the show many times. So if the NSA is listening, fuck you.
You know what? They're listening. They heard "fuck you," and they probably, like I said, they probably don't even care. Yeah, they're not dispatching any drones. We're not going to FEMA camps. You know, none of that bullshit.
There's a knock at the door. What the hell?
Yeah, that's like I said. I agree that it's a violation of our privacy. I absolutely agree with that. But at the same time, it's a bit difficult to argue with the results that we've had from it. And so it's one of those, you know, like I said, as long as we don't couple it with the Patriot Act, where you can just get taken just because, and as long as somebody says, look, we have a actual reason to come in, and that's the kind of stuff that they would do. Like I said, I can't get into how it works, because it's a whole security kind of violation.
Yeah.
But the stuff that they did was not, I listened to a conversation and then they arrested somebody. It was a methodical, completely legal kind of thing.
Well, if the NSA is listening and they're copying my hard drive, can I get a copy of that? Because mine screwed up the other day.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I was telling my friend, I said, you know, the NSA doesn't care what kind of porn you jerk off to unless it happens to be kiddie porn, and wouldn't you want that guy to get arrested?
Yikes.
You know? And so that's the kind of thing. It's like, they don't care how many amputee fetishes that you have, or if you like putting shit in your ass. They don't care.
Yeah, you do know
with kids.
Yeah, you do know that on most people's computers, and this is fact, that on most people's computers, even if they go to any kind of porn website, even sometimes not even porn websites, sometimes it's just religious websites, that there is sometimes kiddie porn on their computer, and they don't even know it's there.
Wow, and wouldn't you like somebody monitoring your keystrokes so that way they know that you didn't download it?
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
But sometimes they do, because there's been incidents where people have taken computers in for servicing, and they just like, oh, there's kiddie porn on here. Yeah, and it's like, I didn't even know it was fucking there. You know.
Yeah, and of course they're gonna believe you. I don't know.
I didn't know it was there.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, it happens. It's happened. People have been wrongly accused of that. But anyway, we're kind of getting off the subject there a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's the fact is that all these tech companies are getting together to kind of say, hey, you got to step back a little bit here. Give us a little breathing room. There's been companies out there that have told the U.S. government that you can't get access to our equipment or our data, and the government put their fucking foot down on them and say, hey, you're going out of business. And I think that with this set of companies, if they get collectively, the government, if they try to put their foot on them, they're going to push back real hard, and they're going to topple the giant over a little bit more than they expected. So, but anyway, it's very interesting. This is with anything with the NSA is a developing story constantly. So,
I've seen like a lot of cool stuff that people have done where somebody will post something that they've like a crime they've committed on Twitter or Facebook or something, and then people are able to just jump on it, and then that I think if the NSA, like, maybe they can come to a compromise where they only monitor private messages. That way, if, like I said, because there is a reason that they do it. They don't do it for fun. There's a lot of other stuff they could waste their money on.
Yeah.
And
they're playing World of Warcraft. They're playing World of Warcraft.
They're actually, I heard that they're monitoring World of Warcraft.
And Second Life, they're running around in a naked suit going, look at my penis! Look at my penis!
Yeah, or trying to catch, what is it? They do this thing where they pretend that they're underage girls trying to catch pedophiles or something. They can be doing that.
Yeah.
But I think if the public stuff, like if you post something publicly to Facebook or publicly to Twitter, I don't think that needs to be monitored by the NSA, because that's monitored by the other people.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's just so much wrong with a lot of what they're doing. But I mean, I understand that there's the need is there, but I mean, it's just the way that sometimes they're going about it. I think it is a little questionable.
The other problem too is that all the success that they've had, you don't know about it because they can't tell you, because that would show how they receive that information. So the people that are potential criminals will safeguard against that. So they can't even tell you what's going on. It's just like, oh, trust us, we're the government, just trust us. And of course we're all saying, no, fuck you. We I don't trust you. And if I had never worked in Intel, then I would never think that I would be making this kind of argument.
Yeah.
Because why would you trust the government?
Yeah, that's I said it before, and I say it again. Military intelligence, 2 words mutually exclusive from each other. No, I'm just kidding. There's
a lot of shit I agree with on that. The military is a bloated dinosaur.
Yes, yes.
That's what it is.